Okay, so we have this SP2 TDX by Invicare. This SP2 has a new style of rim. The old SP1 and some SP2s have the original rim, which is this one right here. This one actually has the hub attached to the rim itself, so if you're trying to put this type of rim, it's not gonna fit. So I want to show you guys today how to do the split rim to just change the tire. We're just going to swap tires. Of course, this is a new chair, this is a new tire. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to take off this middle hub. You want to get a flathead. This is like a micro flathead. Make sure you don't scratch anything up. But once you pop this out, just like that, then you're going to pop out the outer shroud cover. Okay, you are going to have a middle hex bolt right there that you're going to remove. You're going to use 11/16, which I already loosened everything up, so this video goes a little bit quicker. So you're going to take that nut off. Now these right here, there's a hex bolt in the back and then your nut in the front. That's what's holding the hub in place. Okay, before the hub was attached to the motor and it had a nut in the middle, and you would just have to replace the tire. So I'm assuming that Invicare will now send the whole assembly, the tire with the hub. But if for some reason you guys just order the tire itself, which is this one right here, I think this one is a little bit thinner than this one, and I'll show you guys why here in a minute. So anyways, you're just going to remove the tire just like that. You have your hex bolts. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you remove 5, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know how to count. But if you remove these right here, these hex bolts with these nuts, then the whole hub is going to come off. Okay, before that's how they had it. The hub would come off. The hub was attached to this, and then they would put a nut with a washer right here, and that would hold the hub in place. And then the hub had threaded holes already to where you just put that hex bolt in there and attach the old tire. But they changed it up. So to do the split rim, you are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hex bolts that you're going to have to remove. How to remove 5 of them? I'm going to use this number 6. Let me move this out of the way. And all you're going to do is remove all 5. Once you remove all 5, rims are going to come apart. So I'm going to put this tire up here because it is new. I'm going to get the old style one, and I'm going to do the same thing on number 5, I believe. Remove that hex bolt. Rim is going to come off. Perfect. So rim is off. You do have to do 5 of them. Now here's the crazy part. Okay, whenever Invicare, whenever you take this the black Invicare rim, they sent these hex bolts are actually attached. That's what attaches the split rim. But if you try to use this hex bolt, no matter, even if you replace a new tire, the tire is going to be too wide, and you're gonna have a hard time trying to, and I'm going to show you guys here in a minute, trying to put this hex bolt in. That's why you need a cheater bolt. Okay, so I'm going to put the black rim on there, and then I'm just going to line up the rim to the holes, and you could tell there's even a big, I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but there's a big gap right here. So if you try to use the bolts that Invicare has with the split rim, they're not going to reach. Okay, you would have to use some kind of compress mechanism to compress the tire, and that's going to be a pain in the butt. So you're going to get the old hex bolts from the old rim that you just took off, and you're gonna attach them to the new one. And you still have to kind of compress a little bit, not much, but I think at least you will be able to attach it. Let me see, because I mean I'm even having a hard time with this one, but I think I got it. There we go. So I got it. You can tell there's like a huge gap right there. So you're going to use the older ones, and that's why even if you do have a cheater bolt, a couple, you will start with 2 of them, 1 on each side, and that way the tire gets compressed And now you'll be able to attach. These are going to reach a lot better. And I believe this is, what is this, number 5. And I'm just going to use this 3/8 ratchet. It's like a USB ratchet. It's pretty cool. Doesn't have that much power, but you can use that just to start it. And that's in crooked, so we don't want that. Let's go ahead and remove that. We're going to loosen this one up. We don't want it tight yet until we get the rest in here. And the reason I am going to compress them is because if I don't, then the tire itself might rub because it's not compressed all the way. And you can use power tools as well, but I'm just going to use this real quick. You can tell it's compressing pretty good already. Maybe I'll just compress 3 of them, and I think I'll put the tire on. But as you can tell, I mean, check it out. It's lining up, but it is a little bit thinner, so. And then you might now be able to use the smaller ones. So let's see if they fit. Nah, they still don't fit. Nah. So definitely use the older style hex bolts that came with the older rim. And typically they're probably not lined up correctly because I know this one's kind of crooked a little bit. So let me loosen these up just a tiny bit. That way everything lines up, and then I'll compress it. There we go. That should do it. Yep. All right, so I'm only going to use those 3, and that should be enough to compress and put in the rim. And that way you guys could see the next part. Yeah, that's compressing it really good. That's cool. Okay. So now that these are compressed, I think this one was the one that was kind of off, so I'm going to take that off right now. I'm not going to mess with that. I don't want to strip anything, but that is pretty tight anyway, so we'll go with those 3. Okay, perfect. So now we have the gray tire on the black rim. We're going to attach, this is your stem, your secure key. We're going to pop that in there. Perfect. Okay. Now, check this out. This is the kind of crazy part because it is thinner, so it sits farther back. It's actually hitting the back right here of this motor. You can hear that. So what you're going to have to do is remove the tire. You're going to have to remove this pin, which I'm just going to use these just like that. Now, I do apologize for this next one, but you're going to have to use washers. I don't know the size or the diameter of the washer. I will post it later on the feed, but I'm going to throw a couple in there just like that. I don't know if this one fits. It might fit. No, but we're going to do 2. See how 2 do. So we'll put the pin back on, and hopefully that right there is going to solve that problem. Use a little bit of PB Blaster on this bad boy, but hopefully this helps, because a lot of times, you know, just like everything else, they change everything up, which is okay, but, and I always say it's better to get the right stuff anyways. But if you don't have it and you only have this and that's all you have, perfect. There we go. So it clears in the back. There's no rubbing. You could even add another washer, I would say, and it would probably even stick out that much. And not only that, but your center bolt is still gonna go on there the way it should. and there's no rubbing. Okay, so that's how you would do it. You would get your covers, cover that, put this back on. Yeah, you have to line them up to the holes, bro. Okay, there you go. So that's how you would split rim these for sure. You would have to, unless you get the correct tire and the correct size. But that's the reason it rubs a little bit, because this one's a little bit thicker. But once you add those 2 washers, you should be good to go. There we go. It's not rubbing, and you got some gray tires instead of black, even though that looks kind of funky. But that's how you do the split rim on the tire itself. And it's pretty simple, pretty easy, not too bad. Just make sure you do have your cheater bolts, because you can tell the difference on the bolts. These are the ones that came out of the black rim, and then this is the one that came out of the gray rim. Check that out. Big difference. So hopefully that helps you guys, and yeah, you guys have a good one.